Hi guys, my name's James and I'm making this video because I need your help. When I was a teenager, I was homeless for 18 months. And when I was homeless, I met an awful lot of people who were in the same situation as me. They were sofa surfing, they were sleeping rough, they were eating out of skips. And although they came from a diverse range of backgrounds and they were all different ages, they were telling me that the reason they were homeless were mostly reasons like their families couldn't cope with their behaviour, their inability to be involved in normal everyday life, their depression, their fatigue, their anxiety. And then they're the ones that went out into the real world and couldn't cope with paying bills, opening letters, staying on top of the balance of keeping a normal life going. A life of living independently was just too much for them. And you know what that says to me now, knowing what I now know, is that the one thing they all have in common, or had in common, was mental health issues. Okay? Undiagnosed mental health issues. Now, as you know, in 2016, I was diagnosed on BBC's Doctor in the House with a genetic disorder. That genetic disorder, I have since found out, in America has been linked to depression, anxiety, even schizophrenia, autism, ADHD, not to mention heart attacks, strokes. I've had 2 mini strokes, but I'm well now. I'm doing very well. And I'm doing very well because this genetic disorder was identified and it's been treated, and this treatment is so simple, and it has changed my life. Whilst I was making that program with Dr. Chatterjee, he told me that up to 40% of the UK's population is estimated to be suffering from this gene variation. That's crazy. If up to 40%, that's nearly half of the population of our country. If that's the case, how many people are currently being treated for depression with antidepressants when actually all they need is a pre-methylated vitamin? How many people are exhibiting behavioural issues at home and are about to end up in a broken, outside of a broken family, on the streets, fending for themselves because their families can't cope with their behaviour, with their undiagnosed mental health disorders, which could potentially be from an undiagnosed gene variation, a very common gene variation that is just not recognised in the UK. A production company took this idea and they approached BBC Three just a couple of weeks ago, and BBC Three said, "Do you know what? It's a great idea, but actually there's not much UK-based information on this. We can't find much research in the UK about this. So if we're going to do anything, we would want really solid medical papers done in the UK. Well, that's great, but we just don't have the time. It's Christmas 2018. I'm going to make a documentary. I'm going to make a documentary on my own, all right? I'm going to take out my camera, I'm going to take out my phone, I'm going to take out my recording equipment, I'm going to use my own editing suite, I am going to make this documentary. I am going to find out exactly how much this gene variation is responsible for the growing homeless epidemic in this country. And indirectly, we're going to account for how much, hopefully, how much mental health it actually does affect in our country. How many miscarriages are caused by this gene variation, this undiagnosed gene variation that the UK just, for some reason, seems to be completely blind and deaf to. Other countries are fine with it. This country is not. We have to find out. I've set up an email box. The project is called The Homeless Gene. If you suffer from fatigue and your doctors keep on telling you you're fine, but it just doesn't make sense. If you suffer from depression, or you're being treated from depression, and for some reason the treatment just isn't working. Anxiety, again, you're being treated for something that it just doesn't feel like it's working. Get in touch. It's possible. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, I'm saying it's possible that you could benefit from this. Share your story with me. The email address is thehomelessgene@outlook.com. My Twitter handle is James Hodcroft. I'm afraid I haven't set up a Twitter account for this yet. Get in touch, let me know about it. It's 2018, it's Christmas 2018. By Christmas 2019, this country could see homelessness and mental health in a very different way. I hope to talk to you soon. Cheerio.